Beautiful souls, do you have a prayer request or want us to send you healing energy today? Would you like us to be praying for your friend or loved one? If this is you, go to worldslargestprayernetwork.com to submit your prayer request. And while you're there, please sign up to join our team of prayer warriors. The angels say prayer not only opens you to miracles, raises your vibration, and helps you heal, but the more you pray, the more God's presence is felt on earth. Feel your angels' love as they surround you right now, and listen for the positive, loving messages your angels intended specifically for you in today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. And friends, today we have on two beautiful ladies to share their angel stories with you. They're previous Angel Reiki School students of mine, and they've also started their own new podcast, which, ladies, I'm so proud of you for. It's amazing. It's called Everyday Evolution. Welcome, Gina. Welcome, Kris. I'm so excited you're here.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Yay! So, ladies, I know you have some angel stories to share, and I know that you two are just so empowered and inspired and just love helping other people connect with their intuition, because when people see the process through these angel stories on Thursdays, right, where like you have these gut feelings or these gut knowings or these whispers or these visions that are coming through to you, and you start to follow them, my God, does life become this magical, amazing journey?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And
who
I think
wants to
that
go first?
I will be happy to tell my angel story first. You're so right, Julie. Once you start following those nudges, and I am so thankful to you because you are the first teacher to help me with that, following the intuition, listening to the signs. And so I'm excited to tell my angel story because it actually ties into you a little bit, which you don't know yet. But this one happened actually a little bit before the first time I was on your podcast, which was like maybe 2 years ago or something like that. And I was telling an angel story. But as I was preparing for that, I was meditating one day and I was just on my couch in my TV room. My kids were playing. And as I was meditating, I saw the word transmission, like written out, almost like in energy or in fire or something written out in my mind's eye. And I was like, transmission? What on earth does that mean? And so I just kind of tapped in, and I actually had my notepad with me because I like to journal a lot while I'm meditating. And I felt all of a sudden like I was connecting with my future sister-in-law. My brother and her are engaged right now, with her grandfather. I felt his presence, and I just started writing down a message that I didn't really completely understand at the time. And so, but I wrote it down. And afterwards, I felt really insecure. I was like, oh my gosh, is this real? Is this, I know her and she's like one of my best friends, and she was so close with her grandfather, and I didn't want to confuse her. And I probably just felt insecure at the time. And so I talked to Spirit and I said, okay, if I'm supposed to relay this message, like, please give me a sign. I need help. And I said, please send me butterflies. And so I had it all in my head. Like, I even went fishing with my brother and her one day, and I thought, oh, I'm going to see a butterfly come through and I'm going to know in the moment it's time to tell her the story. But that didn't happen. And it probably was a few months of no butterflies. And I kind of put it on the back burner, and I thought, okay, maybe I'm never going to say. I told my husband, but I'm like, maybe I'm never going to tell her. And so anyways, it was actually the day that I was going to be on the podcast with you. And I remember it was November 2nd, which happens to be her birthday. So that morning I was meditating and I was seeing butterflies. And I was like, what? In that moment, I realized, wow, during meditations this past month, I've been seeing a lot of butterflies. Like, I wonder what that means. Totally forgetting that I had made that request to Spirit before. And so I just noticed. I happened to pay attention because I feel like spirit often gives us signs. Your angels give us signs. God gives us signs, and we kind of overlook them, or we think like, oh, that's just my imagination, or that's just some weird picture I'm seeing. And I was doing that. I didn't attribute any meaning to it, but it was starting to get loud enough where it was getting my attention. And so I ended up going on the podcast with you that beautiful day. And then because it was her birthday, that evening, we had a bonfire on the beach. My whole family was there. And as we walk up to the bonfire, she has a little altar up, and she had photos of her grandpa and of my grandpa. And it was because it was Dia de los Muertos. So in Mexico, we celebrate the ancestors and honor our deceased ancestors. And so in that moment, I realized that, oh my gosh, I'm getting chills actually right now. My angels are giving me chills right now. I realized that the butterfly was my sign, and it was time to give her this loving message. And so I'm like, okay, like, let's, I'm kind of nervous still. And we're sitting by the fire on the beach, and it's beautiful, celebrating her birthday. And I tell her the message, and I'd have to go back and remember the full thing, but part of the message was, I meant for you to wait. And the reason when her grandfather passed of cancer, she wasn't there. She's from Germany, and she was here. And the last time she was out there, they had a beautiful experience. He was feeling really good. Things were looking optimistic. And that's how they got to spend their last moments together. And so I realized as I was talking to her that what that message was saying was, no, like, don't hold any guilt for not being there. I wanted it to be this way. I wanted you to have that time, those last memories with me. And so it was just really beautiful. And to me, being Mexican American, like the fact that it was Dia de los Muertos made it all that more special. And what extra blows my mind about the whole thing, Julie, is that God knows me and my angels know me so well that they knew I wouldn't catch on to these signs, right? Because I had received it a month before, but I didn't do anything. I didn't take any action because I didn't understand it at the time, or I wasn't paying any attention. And they, like, the timing of everything, the synchronicities of everything was super special.
Okay. So you know how on the podcast, I always say, like, what were you just talking about? And like, how does that tie in to the sign that you were given? That timing is so on point. And your story is all about, like the date and the butterflies. And just last week, I've been working on this book, working on this book proposal. Really want to go through a publisher for my next book. I really feel called to do that. And so there's this one message that I really, really want to bring through in this book, because I think that we're all talking about the same thing in different ways, but we're all missing like this one really key ingredient. So I'm just letting spirit guide me through this process. And it has been this beautiful, like, flowing process where, how when you're like a healer and in your everyday life, you're getting these messages and you're seeing these signs, and it just becomes very abundant in those things. And you really start to feel the magic of life. Well, when you're writing a book, you're building upon so much wisdom from the past, and you're taking people to another height, to another level. And there is this, if you could imagine like this energetic crown chakra, right? When you're opening it for a session or just in your everyday life to commune with spirit, it's maybe open the size of the bottom of a Coke can. On the top of your head, but that's enough for just so much to come through. But when you start writing this book, I mean, this Coke can opens up to just, this huge 6 foot by 6 foot round circle above you. And not only are you seeing signs and getting these downloads, or getting these messages, you're getting a flood of downloads where it's just constant. It's like if you could be, if you're in a shower and it's a nice steady stream versus being underneath a waterfall where it is just gushing water. That's the difference between like getting everyday messages and getting this download of just information. So I've been following the breadcrumbs for the last 3 months, just letting them guide me, show me what they want me to do. And I was called to read this book from like years ago. And I didn't even know it was a book, but they were like, go search this in Amazon. So it came up. And it's by this healer. And I don't want to say too much because I want people to read about this in the book too. But the way that he came to this information was through a butterfly landing on him and staying on him for like almost half a day, right?
Wow.
For just hours and hours. And he even got a professional photographer to come over because the butterfly wouldn't leave and, you know, like get these snapshots. So I've been writing the book. And just last week, I mean, talk about timing. We had Neil Donald Walsh on the podcast. He's the one who wrote Conversations with God and like 40 other New York Times bestsellers. And I was reading that book when I was 19, 20 years old with a friend in college. Wow. And after the podcast, I was asking him some questions, you know, as an author and just for some advice. And he goes, listen, when's your book deadline? And I just said like the first thing that popped into my head, November 1st. And he goes, okay, if you get it to me by then, not a second later, not November 2nd, you have to get it to me November 1st. And he said that, not November 2nd, November 1st, then I will write the foreword to your book.
Oh, wow.
Chills
And
again.
I just couldn't help it. I had this emotional, physical body reaction and I just started bawling. And so to hear your story today on the show about butterflies and that date, I feel is like an angel story also again, because like, I feel like I'm on the right track. This is all going to happen. I can tend to, with my ADHD, get a lot of anxiety or feel very overwhelmed because I just want to do my best all the time. And so it was kind of like a nice thing to hear today.
I love that. And I love that the story actually, like you were tied into it anyways in the first place. And it just goes to show how these lines, these threads of energies and stories and synchronicities are so much bigger than us. And all we can do is try to listen and follow the breadcrumbs just like you're doing.
Yes. Oh, I love that, Christina. That's so perfect.
And I almost told another story, but Gina told me to tell that one. So now that makes sense. Thank you, Gina, for getting us on track.
Friends, do you want to get daily guidance from your spirit team, but just don't know how to tune in? Or maybe you've been trying to hear your intuition, but you feel like you're not hearing anything back. Or maybe you're hearing something back, but you don't know if it's your spirit team or not. Let me teach you all of this and more in my brand new 4-week course called Be Your Own Angel Messenger. I'm running this class live September 18th. And if this resonates with you, it's because your angels are trying to teach you how to tune into this information so they can guide you more directly in your life and so that you'll feel more confident following your heart. It all begins September 18th. Be sure to check out the VIP ticket for smaller group lessons. Just a reminder that annual paying members get this course and the VIP ticket free as a perk. Become an annual member before September 17th and receive this course free as part of your annual paying angel membership. Find a link to more info in the show notes below. Now let's get back to the show. Gina, do you have a story you want to share too?
I do. Mine is just this really simple thing, but it was, I'm feeling really called to share the very first time I ever connected with spirit consciously. And all through my life, I always had intuition. I had so many prayers answered, but in that moment, right? It's God, it's, going to church and not really realizing how much guidance I've always received. But I was at the DMV. I was going through this life transition. I had just been divorced and I had scheduled an appointment to meet with a psychic. Just I'd never done it before. I was like, okay, I need to know what's going on, right? So the day before that appointment, I was at the DMV. And I remember I walked in and I just can even see like stepping into the room and the woman behind the counter had a name tag on. And I remember seeing the name tag and very specifically, her name was Feliciano. Like never heard the name before. It was and my eyes just saw it and I kept noticing it and noticing it. And so have the DMV appointment, everything. The next day I go in and the psychic that I met with connected with my grandfather, who I was really close with. I only know him for a short time. He passed away when I was in 4th grade, but it was really impactful. And I just had such a connection to him. And it was obviously him. He said all the things, he was a fisherman. He was teasing the guy had long hair and he was calling me a hippie and all these things he was saying. I'm like, yeah, it's totally my grandpa. And so he said to me at some point early on, he goes, does the name Feliciano mean anything to you? And I just was transported to that moment, standing in the DMV and noticing that name tag and being like, never before or since have I ever heard that name. But in that moment, I had this awareness and he said, your grandpa was with you. And that was the first time I got, right? You have this moment where you feel something and you notice something. And then that validation comes the next day, like, this is why you were noticing it. And after that moment, it just became more clear to me, the noticings. And it wasn't actually until I took the Angel Reiki School a couple of years ago that I was really, really conscious of how much I receive messages like that and act on them even. But that was just the first time that I had this noticing, this strong noticing of something. And then the validation came right after. And it was just really cool. And I've felt close to my grandpa ever since.
That's amazing. Oh, I love that. I love too that you both came into the Angel Reiki School together. You've both been
Mhm.
following like that nugget of information, that path of wisdom, those signs, and it's leading you so many places. And I love the podcast that you've started. Everyday evolution and just how much you're touching people's hearts over there and sharing so much wisdom. So thank you both so much for the work that you do. And to everybody listening too, when it comes to Gina's work as well, she's also a graphic designer. And when it comes to graphic design, I would recommend, no matter what your business is, really looking at your brand in a spiritual way, a spiritual lens, no matter what that business is. If you're an accountant, if you own an auto body shop, because when you have a business, your business is to serve your clients. And that is such a spiritual practice when you break it down. And what I found over the years is that there are some graphic designers who just have the ability to really get in tune with your energetic vibration, the message that you're trying to share. And Gina, I think you do such a beautiful job. I've seen you create websites for so many different people of just creating these brands, and really your company brand is your company in so many different ways, and the first thing that people receive when they receive your energy. So I just want to encourage people to go over to ginastock.com backslash ARS. We'll put that in the show notes below because she's really an amazing person at pulling a brand together. So if you need that, she's the person you want to see.
Oh, thank you so much, Julie. I can't tell you, it's been such an interesting journey because I really thought that I would move only into coaching. And that's a part of my work, right? But when Christina and I did the Reiki school and really started tapping into those gifts, I also realized, wow, I do channel information when I'm doing design work. And I don't think any other human on the planet has ever said what I do the way you just said it.
Oh, I've been around it for since I was 14 years old. My
Mm,
dad would have me go and observe people were graphic designers. And I remember going in and they were doing something for either like Vogue or one of the major fashion magazines. And they took this model and they actually, this was probably like 1995 or 1996. They took her stomach in about an inch
mhm.
on both sides to give her a smaller waist. And I have just been around graphic designers for almost 30 years now. And not everybody knows what they're doing. Not everybody can really intuitively tune into who you are as a person, as a business owner, and what message you have for the world, because every business's message is unique. And you really do that in just such a beautiful way. And your heart is just so pure and your intention. I just love both of your energies so much. So
Mm.
if you go over to ginastock.com/ARS, definitely let her know that I sent you.
Thank you so much, Julie.
We're just so thankful to be here. This is
Mhm.
magical and very special. And honestly, Julie, the Angel Reiki School has been like transformed our lives, both of us, from being the novice, novice intuitive people to being where we are today. Not only did it help us open those doors, Julie, you have helped me with ancestral healing, with inner child healing through just I think it was the inner child course. It was just so transformative. But not only that, but the community that we gained in our group,
Yeah.
these women like are still, now that we're at where we're at from, the growth that we've had. It's so wonderful to have other women who understand
Yeah.
you, who also do this work, who are supportive. And I literally just text Autumn today, who was in our class as well. So I'm just really grateful for that. And thank you for doing what you do.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you
yay.
so much.
Yeah, that's what so many people say is that they knew later that God was calling them to start the Angel Reiki School because of the people that they met within it,
Mhm.
and that they were all able to grow up at the same time, at the same pace as healers. And a lot of them still meet regularly with one another, which is just awesome.
Yeah, I would consider them some of my closest friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. Ladies, I love you. I love your energy and everything that you're doing for this world. Your heart and your intention is just so in line. And I know that there's huge things for both of you. Christina, have you been getting the vision to write a book one day, even if it's in the future?
I've had that for a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Spirit saying not to let you go before you know that that's on purpose and that you really can do it. They're saying, they're pulling this thread from my head and they're handing it over to you. I've been going through this process and it's unlike any other process I've been through before, where I hired a couple of different book coaches this time around because I'm like, okay, I want to know what the best of the best is out there. Like, I want to
Hmm.
know how to make this book just rock solid, the best information, because people have so much to consume these days. And I'm very, very
Yeah.
aware of that. I'm sure you are too. Like Netflix, and there's stuff on YouTube and podcasts and blogs and online news, and we're just inundated. Social media, oh my God, you could spend
I know.
hours. I mean, there's just so much. So how do you really condense your content and make it the best possible? 8 hours that they're going to listen to on Audible, right? And what's been happening is not only are you in that very wide space where you're getting all of this download of information, I feel like you're skipping 3 levels ahead. Like you're not just leveling up, you are like on not a stairmaster, you're on an elevator and they have you leveling up, leveling up, leveling up. And what I've been hearing throughout this process of writing is just that some people like the process because it's almost like when you're a healer, the intent behind it is not to just be in that yummy vibration all the time. It's to help heal your clients. And a byproduct of that is that you're just in this naturally yummy, delicious energy constantly. I wish I could just like pull people into my auric field and have people feel it with me. But when you're in these downloads, it's like you're in a freaking different dimension. I mean, it's just huge or big level concepts coming through and like how you put all of the information together one after another. And then you're seeing these even bigger visions of where you have to go in the future and where you have to take people. And it's wild to see it because what I now know, and they're saying to give you this too, is those visions that I was having when I was 16 years old and 18 years old and 20 years old were spot on.
Wow.
But if you don't take action on them, and more so, the first step is believing. Like if you don't believe you can do it, then you're not ever going to take that action. And if you don't take that action, the full potential within you of what can be created through you can't come into being. And so they were saying to tell you all of this, and this is for anybody, like if this is resonating for you right now, like this is for you. It is a process and it doesn't always feel good and it doesn't always feel comfortable. And you do feel anxiety with it too, because I think it's a very big responsibility. But if you are willing to get to fall in love with the process of writing or channeling information through on a larger scale, you are now stepping into this dimension where you are getting download upon download upon download, and you are on this escalator of them leveling you up. And it's not leveling you up in a like, oh, look at me. I don't feel that way at all. Like I am the most humble person that you'll ever meet. Or at least I think I am. It's not about that. It's just like, it really becomes fun. Like, where could this go? How many people can you help? How many people can you serve? And that's what I mean. They keep leveling you up in the way where they're like, we donated, I think it was close to hundreds of thousands of dollars this year in goods and services and financials and products and everything, to help as many people as possible. And they've kept coming in being like, and one day you're going to be able to donate like millions every year. And that's going to feel so incredibly good.
It's funny because Gina and I were just having a conversation before we jumped on with you, and we were talking about the feeling of a leveling up of raising your vibration, but you're like, but it's not like a hierarchy.
No,
it's the feeling of rising, right? Of ascending, but not like the others are down below. It's somehow here at the same time and all accessible to us at any time, but raising our vibration, it kind of tunes you into that. To the reality that exists, the magic that exists around us all the time.
For sure.
I love the way you describe that book writing process. And it sounds like the most juicy, yummy, delicious experience. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you said that too, because that's truly what it is. Like I still drive the same car that I had before I started the podcast. I still shop at Aldi. I get most of my clothes from Target. This is from Target. And it's not about that. It's just how can you serve in the greatest way, the biggest way? And And I know that you both can, and I know that you both will. It really starts with that belief in yourself and believing that you can, because when you know that you can and you're just following that magic and those breadcrumbs, it's going to lead you exactly where you need to be.
Spirit told me that last week, which is incredible. And you bringing up me as a teenager, they were like, you need to go back to that level of faith and belief and tap into that. So thank you.
One more thing before I let you both go, because they're saying to bring this up. I think that we can be doing the exact right thing and be following the breadcrumbs and be in oneness and be doing everything right within our days and doing all the work on ourselves and having released so much, and still come across something and be like, oh, I can't believe I'm still holding that belief. Like, I can't believe that this is coming up. And how did I never even see that I had this self-limiting belief? I believe that we will be doing that until the day that we pass away, that we're going to be having those
Agreed.
aha moments. And it doesn't make us bad, and it doesn't make us wrong, and it doesn't make us any less than as a teacher. It's happening in a sequential process for us to help the people who like hearing from us on your podcast, on my podcast, on Instagram, who like hearing those messages, that as we level up, they're able to level up with us. And so it has to happen in that order, or else we're not serving to the best that we can. Does that make sense?
Totally. I love that. It's like we're all human, and all this work that we do, the spiritual work, the mindset work, all the works, we're just still human, and we're on this journey together, and we're going to falter and face plant.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Oh, well, thank you both for coming on the show. I'm so glad that you were here. And everybody listening, go on over and follow them too. Everyday Evolution. They've got a podcast, beautiful Instagram page. Oh, my love to you, ladies.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
Julie.
Julie.
You're
Thanks for
so
everything.
welcome.
We love you.
Love you. Mwah. Keep going. Keep being you.
Thank you.
Beautiful soul, thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Julie. You know I'm all about connecting you with messages from your angels and loved ones on the other side. If you've been listening today and you're super excited and just have to know which angels are around you right now, who's connecting with you, and what messages they have for you, go to theangelmedium.com. Register for a session. You can do a reading with me or a member of my team, and we can help you in making sure that your angels are doing the very best they can to support you and guide you to your best life. If this sounds like you, virtual sessions, they're only offered on my website. Sign up today. And if you're the person who's really excited, you can sign up for my Angel Reiki School to become a certified angel messenger. That's for the healers among us who feel called to grow their intuition to the max and serve humanity with their gifts. You'll learn Reiki, mediumship, how to deliver angel messages, and how to get clients. That's the Angel Reiki School at theangelmedium.com, or DM me on Instagram at Angel Podcast with any questions. Before you go, connect with your angels by placing your hands on your heart. Take a deep breath. Imagine a doorway filled with God's unconditional love is right in front of you. Step into that love and feel it as it fills your body, chakras, and auric field. Now ask your angels, what would you have me know today? And open yourself to the positive, loving messages they have just for you.